I'm Larry Handley, and this is For Better or Worse, brought to you by Little Brown Dog Productions. This is a podcast designed to help couples plan their wedding day by introducing them to the very best wedding professionals in the Greater Cincinnati area. Today's guest is ChristyJohnson of TheSpotOnWestFifth, one of the newest event venues in the tri-state. ChristyJohnson, thanks for having us here. Let's start with this, just so I can get it straight.
Okay.
The name, is it like Spot On West 5th, or is it more like we're in a spot in a location on West 5th?
It's more like we're in a spot in a location on West 5th, but it's kind of changing more into the spot.
Spot on?
The spot, and we're spot on.
It's a good name. How'd you come up with it?
I don't have a good story for that.
Yeah.
We talked about a number of different things, and then I don't know, it just came to me.
It's a brand new venue. You opened May of 2019.
Yep.
First wedding was?
September of 2019.
How's it going?
It's going fabulous, honestly. It's hard to even explain how well it's gone. We were really rookies to start with, and so we were kind of nervous about that.
Right.
But in the end, we've learned little things along the way, but nothing that was so major that was like, oh, we should have known that. So just simple things. Like people like to go outside and have a cigarette. Oops, we didn't have a receptacle. Just simple things like that.
You do have a fire station right next door.
We do have a fire station right next door.
That's helpful.
True. That's true. I love the fire station being right next door. What's
Yeah.
better than having firemen right next door?
You feel safe all the time.
Yeah.
What was it like? First of all, whose idea was this? Is this your idea?
It was my idea. Actually, lived 2 doors from here, saw that this space was available, was just sharing with some friends, and so not asking anybody to invest, and they were like, let's go in on it. So there's 8 of us that came together. 5 of the 8 are women, so we are mostly female owned. Mm-hmm. And we just decided, honestly, it would be a great real estate play, even if the business didn't work. And now the business is just phenomenal.
Do you know the history of this place? This place has been here forever.
Oh, right, a little bit. There was a building here in 1890. It burned down. There's kind of a cool story about there were a couple fighters in town who were at a hotel nearby and actually came here to rescue people out of the building. Longworth rebuilt the building in 1896, and then it housed a heating company, Williamson Heating, for the most part.
And then you turned it into an event venue.
Well, it was kind of a messy warehouse space when we bought it, that's for sure. We redid the floors. There was really no infrastructure, no running water in here, 1 or 2 working plugs, brand new heating, air conditioning, took plaster off walls, put in soundproofing, made it pretty.
So you needed some vision.
Yes, we did. We did.
When you decided to turn this into a venue, it's an event venue, but you do weddings, obviously.
Right.
And that's why we're here. We're a wedding vendor also. But when you decided to turn it into a wedding venue, did you do research on the other venues in town? Were you worried about it? Were you concerned about it? What made you different than them?
Yes.
To all that.
Yes, to all of it. Before we bought it, what was funny, we're right across the street from the convention center, so there was a wedding
show,
right? So went over, and the first people we went to, and I don't even remember who they were, was some barn wedding venue somewhere. And so I just went up, hey, hello, didn't say what I was doing or whatever. And what they told me was, well, we're booked through 2021. And that was 2 years ago. And I'm like, okay, this is a good sign.
Yeah.
And so it kind of went from there. And yes, I did do a lot of research. I did see how often people were booked, and I thought it was a great space and there would be a need for it. And it's right across the street from the convention center. I thought it was a great location.
I know it's relatively new. Again, you said the first wedding was September of last year.
Right.
How many weddings have you had?
We've had probably 12 weddings.
Okay.
Already.
Do you have a style yet?
Do I what?
Have a style? Is there a style here?
That's a good question. I think, we've done everything. First wedding was, I say, on a very grand scale. I like to say it was a kind of a money is no object sort of wedding. Mm-hmm. Our second wedding, the couple had Chipotle. So our first two weddings were very different, and we've had a lot in between. So in terms of style, I say we get couples who come in who say, we just really want to have a great party.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like maybe flexibility is your style.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I think our tagline is your event, your way, and that's because we want you to do what you want to do.
So describe for me, if a bride and groom are interested in booking your facility and they come in and they're checking it out, what's the process look like? How involved are they in what goes on here ultimately if they do book the venue?
Well, it depends on how involved they want to be. What we say is you're coming in and you're renting the space from us. We're BYOB, so there has to be some arrangement for them bringing their own alcohol. And we tell them we're not planners, but we do coordinate. We do meet with them and we make sure we know when people are coming. We provide the setup and use of the tables and chairs. And we're just helpful generally. We just try to be helpful. We're a small business, and so we're very reasonable too. So if you get to use the space during the day and you can come and set up, if we don't have anything the day before, please come and do it. I mean, that's how we are. If it's 2 days before and we don't have anything, please come and set up. We're fine with that. So
when this is all set up and ready to go, you have a few tables set up back here. They look great.
Yep.
If there's a band or DJ, are they back here typically?
They can be wherever you want them to be.
Gotcha.
So you can have a dance floor because all the floor is hardwood. And we've had it that way. We've had a band back here. We've had a band over against the brick. We've had a DJ in the front. So dance floor can be in the back, the middle, the front, wherever it is you want it.
In the 12 weddings or so that you've had so far, what have you learned?
Let's see, what have we learned? Personally, for running a business, I'll say we've learned to not be afraid to ask questions and direct vendors and people that are here. We want the event to be really great for everyone. We talked about that. So, we're not afraid to make sure that the caterer knows that we need you to be here till the end of the event, that it's your job to be taking care of clearing the tables. And I guess we've also learned that these are just people and this is a big day in their life and it's so important, and so it means something to us. It really does mean something to us.
You said that you're doing very well booking-wise for 2020. Can I ask how many weddings you have booked for 2020?
We have over 40 weddings booked for 2020.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can they book any day of the week or just do weekends?
Yeah, they can book any day of the week.
Okay.
We have a few Sunday weddings. We have a lot of mostly Saturday weddings, but a number of Friday weddings too. October's the magic month.
Is that the busy month for you?
It is.
So not summertime?
No, actually, I think fall is the new spring.
Yeah, I'm tending to agree with you.
Yeah.
Even what we do, getting a lot of fall weddings.
Right.
It's a good time of year to get married.
Yeah.
So what would you suggest in terms of if a bride or groom are interested in booking you, how far in advance should they start thinking about it?
Gosh, I hate that there's so much pressure to
Yeah.
book so far in advance. The last thing I want to do is put pressure on people.
But it's a reality.
But it's a reality, and that's what I was going to say. So mostly when people come in, and I like to ask, how long have you been engaged? I've had some who aren't even engaged yet, but most of them, it's 2 weeks. They've been engaged, and now they're feeling like they need to book. So our fall is almost completely booked. One of the things we've done is put a calendar on our site so that people can go there and they can see what's available and what's not available. And I really like that idea because I hate a lot of venues, you have to go and they won't let you know if they're available, and then you go and they're not available. So I say look at the calendar, and that would give you a sign to know how far in advance you really need to book.
And if it's open, you can have it.
Yeah, that's right. If it's open at that minute, it's open.
Yeah. Are you surprised? I hate to use that term, but are you surprised by the success so far?
Pleasantly surprised is what I should say. Yeah, surprised and excited about it, honestly. Surprised and excited. Yeah, I am.
Does it stir you excited-wise in terms of the future?
Yes, it does. Yeah, of course it does. When we decided to do this, we're the Spot on West Fifth, but the company that formed this, we're C Corporation, we're called the Spot on Space Collaborative. And so, yeah, there's all sorts of thoughts of what's next. And I want to make sure that this runs really well and that we have this down. But yeah, there's talks about what's next.
You want to share any of those dreams? Those goals?
Well, you know, I'm not sure. I have ideas in my head, but nothing down on paper yet. So we're going to have our annual meeting again in March, and we'll review. So, no.
Stay tuned. Maybe we'll talk again.
That's it.
Is that
right.
fair?
Right.
This is a business. What we do, videography for weddings, and what you do as a venue for weddings, it's a business that's based a lot on reviews from brides and grooms or clients.
Right.
Have you had many of those since you've only done 12 weddings? Have you been able to receive some nice compliments?
Yes, we have. As a matter of fact, we've gotten a few. We're on the Knot, of course. We ask people, would they review us? Mm-hmm. We're not afraid to ask people to review. And also, I ask couples afterwards, what could we have done better? I mean, we want to be sure that we have all that down. So yeah, we've gotten a number of Google reviews, and then you get like the odd review that you're like, I don't even know where that came from.
Happened?
Somebody rated us months before we were even open. That was, and I'm like, okay, where did that come from?
Well, you weren't open, so maybe that made them mad.
Yeah.
Who knows?
There you go. Hey, I like that. That's a good way to look at that. But yes, it is important, and so I guess part of that can be scary, mm-hmm. But we have a couple thank you notes that we keep on the bar, and we had a bride that wrote us personal thank you notes to myself and Sam, who works for us, and to me, that was the best review, that someone took the time to personally hand me a note that thanked me for what we did. So that makes me feel good.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
Social media reviews are so important, so I'm going to let you write your own as if you were a bride or a groom here. You couldn't be a groom, but a bride here.
Okay.
What would you, depending on what's important to you, what would it say?
It would say that they were super transparent. We knew what we were getting from the start. There were no surprises, and that Christy and Sam were awesome to work with, and they cared about us, and they wanted everything to be great.
Well, I bet you get a bunch of those. That's my guess.
It's mostly what they say, honestly.
So how do people get in touch with you if they are interested in booking the Spot on West Fifth?
I'd say the best way is through our site, just filling out the contact information. That just gives us your contact information, and then we know what you're about, and we are very quick to respond to people who contact us. We do get phone calls, but most of the time when people call, we ask them, go ahead and fill out the contact information, because then we can send them directions and parking and things like that. We don't sell our names to anybody. We don't send out a lot of emails. We don't do that at all, because I don't like that.
Yeah, and I also think that our experience is it's a word of mouth business.
It is.
People tell each other about these things, and it's the best recommendation you can get.
You're right. I was a small business person doing computer programming for 30 years, and I had a lot of great clients, and it was all word of mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me about your staff. You've mentioned a couple people, yourself, and who was the other person?
Well, Sam, her name is Samantha Herchick. Sam is awesome. I met Sam and just knew right away that she was great about customer service. She had all of those things that I was hoping to find. And she's young and she's a dynamo. And I'm really hoping that at one point Sam can be me, which we're getting there. It's close. So Sam is another employee. We also have a CFO who does that sort of thing. But we also have a team of people who come and work the events that are professionals, but love the hospitality industry, and so come and are a second hand here with either Sam and I as the lead to make sure things go well.
Good experience so far with vendors?
Great experiences so far with vendors. Only one bad experience, and I guess that just happens.
Occasionally.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad the experience has been good, though.
Yeah, it's been tremendous, honestly.
Awesome.
That's probably been the most fun thing is that we have a list of people that we recommend, and sometimes we have someone come in as a vendor and they completely surprise us, and I love that, and I add that to my list. And in my list of people that I recommend, I have a little blurb like, this is why I really like this person. But yeah, our experience has been really awesome.
It's definitely about teamwork, is it not? The
Oh
vendors?
my gosh, yes. Yeah, and I think that's the one thing sometimes guests don't understand, that the couple is renting the space and they've hired the different vendors, but they see it all as one. And so yes, you definitely have to work together.
And it is really all as one. You know?
It is.
It has to be that way.
It is.
At least if it's going to be a successful night. Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree.
What did I forget? What else do you want to add before we wrap up here?
Let's see.
Did we cover everything?
I think you probably did. I don't know. If not, people should come and just check it out and see for themselves. I guess the one thing I need to add is one of the things that's a surprise to people when they come in here is the size of our space. I think most people, they walk, they're like, I had no idea it was going to be this big.
Yeah.
I think that's maybe the biggest surprise. So I'll add that because that's something people generally don't get until they come in.
And I'll ask one more question because I thought of one.
Okay.
You can get married here, correct? And have your reception, both?
You can do whatever you want here.
So what happens, how does the transition go?
It goes however you want it to go.
If they have their wedding here and you have to flip the room, do they go outside? Do they just mingle on the side, or what do they do?
We recommend that if you're going to set up chairs, that you set up the chairs where you want your dance floor to be, but generally, honestly, the caterer is in charge of the flip.
Okay.
We add some extra hands. For very large weddings, we honestly recommend a cabaret style wedding where you put up a few rows of chairs for mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, and then you ask the officiant just to ask everyone to come stand around. Most of the ceremonies are so short.
Right. Like 20 minutes typically.
Not even 20 minutes, honestly. We had a wedding New Year's Eve, about 220 people, and the couple originally wanted to set up all the chairs, and in the end, they decided not to do that, to have it be cabaret style. And something we recommend, so when they were here a couple days later and they were getting their things out of the venue, I said, just tell me, what did you think? Like, how did that go for you? And they said, you know what? It was so intimate. We loved it. We're so glad we did it that way. So I think that's a great option. People love standing. They feel a part of things. I don't know. I have 4 kids, 3 that are married. Son number 1 got married with a cabaret style wedding, and it was my favorite.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So it sounds like whatever works.
Well, your event, your way. That's truly the way we're trying to do it here.
Yeah, and it's really kind of the cool thing about weddings these days. 20 years ago, there were a million rules you had to follow.
Right.
There just aren't anymore. You can do anything you want.
Yeah, that's exactly it. And I like that. And
I do too.
I'm sometimes surprised by things that people do that I've thought, that's going
weird,
to be
right?
weird,
Yeah.
or that's not going to be great. And it ends up being like great. And then I say, like, shame on me. Like, look at that. Like, be open. Always just be open.
No, I think you're right. We've
Yeah.
discovered that too, that the more unique the wedding is, the more special it feels.
Yeah. And large is great, small is great too. So, yeah, I think whatever people, it's really what they want.
How many people can we hold here?
225 with a dance floor.
Okay.
Our
225.
occupancy level is higher, but we want people to be comfortable, and so that's what we say.
With a little bit of elbow room.
Oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
For sure.
absolutely.
And a big dance floor. You want people dancing.
Christy Johnson, thank you.
Thank you
You
very
did
much.
great.
It's been fun having
Good luck
you.
to you. Good luck to the Spot on West 5th. I can't wait till we work our first wedding here.
Awesome. I can't wait to.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to For Better or Worse, sponsored by Little Brown Dog Productions. Until next time, happy planning.